for me personally, like I perform at my best when I am in a routine and when I'm eating the same things, doing the same practices. That's how I feel like I can really peak myself and get the best performance out of myself.
Did it take a long time to come to that conclusion, especially with the eating?
Man, ever since I first started, the first couple years, I really dove deep into nutrition. I've always been, pretty big, and I was maybe around 200 pounds when I was doing MMA, and I would cut down to 170. Ooh. So I was just kind of right in between. Like I felt like I was too small for 185, but I was just a little too big for 170. So I just like would grit it out and just make the cut to 170. And so I really just did a lot of research on nutrition and supplementation and weight cutting and dieting and performance, because I always have believed that is, that's almost like a sport in its own, mastering the food for performance.
And as you've continued to obviously train and develop, what does that kind of look like now? Because I don't know if you said it on there, but you mentioned like coffee and honey is your pre-workout, right? Or your what you do before you roll. So what does your kind of routine for food look like during a training day?
Yeah, one of my friends put me on to Carnivore MD about it's been almost a year now, and I've been following a lot of his principles. Not super strict. I added a couple things in, like sweet potatoes, for example. A couple things that I think work well for me. Yeah. I've been feeling really good following a lot of his principles. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately.
What have you noticed? Like as far as I guess the way you feel when you train versus what maybe you were doing before?
Just throughout the day. That my energy levels feel better, not as many highs and lows. Okay. I feel a little more even throughout the day, and recovery too. I feel like my recovery has improved. Definitely. I feel like my sleep's improved. My skin has improved. Yeah. It's helped with a lot of things.
Most of your eating happened like just after training, like you don't really maybe eat as much during the day or in the middle of the day?
So I usually eat like a pound of steak and like a couple eggs, like right before training.
Right before training,
like an hour before.
I love it.
And everyone thinks I'm crazy, but to me, like steak is the thing that digests the best for me. Everyone always like says like, "Oh, how do you digest that right before training?" I could eat steak and then go run sprints like 30 minutes later.
Shit,
it's like the one thing for me. It's carbs that are harder for me to digest. And if I'm going to eat carbs, it has to be a little bit further out from training.
This is a cool thing that you're saying right here, though, because there are some people, including myself, I can't eat like a lump of protein like steak or eggs right before training because it just won't feel good. But I think what you're saying is really awesome because everyone tries to take certain things and say it's an absolute. Like, oh, you can't, you should eat carbs right before you train. Or no, you shouldn't eat that before you train. There are some people that just digest certain things better than others and they feel great with it. So just roll with that anecdote and continue on. And if you want to try that, there's no reason you shouldn't try it just because your favorite coach says you shouldn't eat steak before you train.
Absolutely.
I also wonder like how long does it take for food to even participate in the activity that you're doing? Like the only thing I could think of that would have a fairly immediate impact is if your food was salted. So now you just have a nice delivery system of your electrolytes, but the rest of the stuff is going to take a while to like turn into energy. And so, and also like a lot of times, depending on how long something lasts, like it's pretty common for a runner before they go and run several miles, they might have like carbohydrates and fat. Like they might just eat like maybe a little bit of honey and peanut butter on like an English muffin or something like that. It's pretty common. But again, I don't know how long it takes for your food to like, especially when you're doing an activity, it probably takes even longer. So I think probably more importantly is how you feel, which is really smart and really intuitive. It also probably blunts you from being like crazy hungry when you're done training, perhaps. But again, I think it's a nice delivery system for at least some nutrients before you're training.
Yeah, I think the salt is a good point because I put a lot of salt on my steak. And so maybe that might be one of the things that I'm feeling the benefit from is getting all that salt right before training. And then I do the honey too right before training. So I am getting the carbohydrates in the form of honey. It's they call it a Simple.
I see
simple
Nsima,
carb,
right? He's writing some stuff down over there.
I'm gonna write a lot of stuff down.
It's like honey and coffee.
Pet Project family, we talk about meat all the time on the podcast because protein is essential for your health. That's why I partner with Piedmontese. And if you head to their website, they have so much different types of beef. They have beef sticks, beef jerky, tons of different cuts of meat. You should go check them out. Andrew, how can they learn more?
You guys got to head over to Piedmontese.com. That's PIEDMONTESE.com. And at checkout, enter promo code POWER to save 25% off your entire order. And if your order is over $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
Do you cold plunge and do all that stuff for recovery as well?
Yeah.
Sauna and stuff?
Yeah, I was doing that a lot in the training camp for ADCC. I was just trying to do everything I could for recovery. So yeah, Jason has one at his house. So I would literally, he just pretty much gave me an open invite. So I would just be like, go and sneak in his backyard and cold plunge and go home every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you messed around with any mouth tape? We have some mouth tape over here for you for sleep.
Yeah. Someone gave me some of this. One of my students gave me some, and I put it on for one night and I got annoyed with it and took it off.
That happens.
Why'd you get annoyed?
The problem is, like, I broke my nose when I was doing MMA, and I actually had surgery on it to open it up because I have like a deviated septum, but I still don't have like
full capacity.
I don't
Like
have
your
that
nostrils
much.
get kind of stuck.
Yeah, so I don't have like full capacity of breathing out of my nose, so it's pretty difficult. Yeah, pretty difficult. If there's any surgeons out there that want to hook me up with the nose job, hit me up, slide in the DMs.
There's some people.
Got to be somebody.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too. So you can get whatever you like from us. All right. Peace.